panning is especially for my friend Martin, because he loves the pannings, whatever that is. I always thought a pan was something you boil water in. But anyway, beautiful day in Brooklyn. What I want to talk about is, can procrastination and intent exist in the same reality? So what do I mean by that? Well, last year I had an interesting year, and New Year's is a good benchmark for anyone. I'm constantly resetting goals. It could be a Wednesday I decide to set goals on and start straight away. So New Year's, I just thought I'd put a few things in play. And what I found out last year, there's one lesson I found out last year. Some people can't eat one cake or one slice of cake. They have to eat the whole cake. Some people can't have one line of cocaine. Well, probably, I don't know, probably most people can. Some people just can't have one of anything. We have excessive nature. But when it's down to things like carbohydrates, sugars, opiates, cocaine, and alcohol, it's a neurological trigger. It's your opiate receptors. So what I discovered last year is something in mine triggers. I physically appear to be unable to go and have one drink. I can have 100, but I can't have one. I can eat one slice of cake. I don't want another one. Certain things don't get to me. Some people get it with cigarettes, cravings, but I don't crave it. So what I did towards the back end of last year, because of where I live, it's so easy to just go out late in the day, especially when you work from home, and just go out and have a couple of glasses of wine or a beer or whatever. So what I did is I stopped doing that and started testing myself. Testing myself by 5 days of the week, I'm not going to bother, and I'll go out a couple of nights or a couple of days or whatever. And I found the same challenge, and then I started testing myself more with triggers. I'm okay when I drink at this place. As soon as I step over the road, now over the road is literally here to that climbing frame away, something happens and I just carry on, and maybe the hour or whatever it may be. So I found that as a trigger. So what I decided to do is, last year I probably, I do everything to excess. So last year, I drank too much on a few occasions. No big deal, I did it. It's one of those things. So I'm going to cry about it, go to a meeting, no. So what I decided is, January I would have a dry month. So went New Year's Eve, went to a friend's, didn't drink a lot. Stopped at a bar at maybe 3 o'clock, restaurant at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning on the way home, had a couple more glasses of wine, that was it. And then woke up knowing my intent was not to drink in January. Now here's the challenge. The challenge is, that's like waiting for a kettle to boil. That's like waiting for a train or a bus. The goal of not to drink in January can turn into purgatory if all that's on your mind is drinking. It's not that's all that's on my mind, but it's like, or I was tested on the 2nd of January. Good friend of mine, it was his birthday party, the booze was flowing, never touched it. I was there right in the middle of it, never touched it, drank water. Last night, I was at a friend's watching a movie, the booze was flowing, the wine was flowing, I could smell it, never touched it. So the challenge is, when you set something with a date deadline that is, how can we put this? Something you're trying not to do, and the goal at the end is something to do, the thing that you're not trying to do, if that makes sense. I know what it means. That becomes like an eternity. So what I changed is I decided not to put a time deadline on it. And believe me, I'm not preaching the goods or the evils of alcohol. But I know I have triggers, and I also have things to do. So what I did is I put an intent on there. I will not drink till I have another 10k day. That's not a run, that's an income day. and I've not had one for a few years. Two things with that. Number one, there's no time limit on it. But number two, what's it going to do? Hey, you know what? It's my birthday in the middle of the year. I decide I want to drink for my birthday. I better get my ass in gear and start earning. So the intent is there. Putting a deadline on as far as on a negative spin, which I tend to think that is, trying to stop something. If I stop smoking for a month, I'm going to have a cigarette at the end of it. That's the sort of thing. I'm not preaching it. So to roll on from that, procrastination. First of the month, went out. I didn't say at midnight, New Year's Eve, I'm going to stop. I said, you know what, I'm going to have a night out, and when I wake up, I will stop. And there's some people that said, well, you know what, there's another weekend straight after it. Now, here's the challenge. We can put it off for another weekend, we can put it off for another day, we can put it off and put it off and put it off and put it off. I'll do it when I get home, I'll do it at lunchtime, I'll do it tonight, I'll stop tomorrow, yada 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 yada. And I know when I sold water filters, I would literally argue with people in their homes and say, listen, if you can put this off till tomorrow, you can put it off forever. If you can drink one more glass of the water that's full of the chemicals that are in it, which it is, you can drink one more glass. Could you drink 2? Could you drink 3? Could you drink 10? Could you drink 100? Could you drink for a week, a year, a lifetime? So, Mrs. Smith, do you understand why you need to do this now? Because procrastination is the killer of everything. So can procrastination and intent coexist? I don't know. That's something for you to think about. But if you intend to do it, you intend to do it. If you put it off, you didn't intend to do it in the first place. That's my take on it from beautiful Fort Green Park. See you soon.